Up next
On Your Pittsburgh, with the new Star Trek movie coming out, we're spending time with Spock as Zachary Quinto visits his hometown.
Do you remember coming here?
Oh my God, yeah.
His story of growing up here and the KDKA personality he encountered years ago.
They paid for my ice cream, and then we became friends.
Summer's here, so we're looking at some of the best places for you to enjoy a drink outside.
The Cathedral of Learning is one of Pittsburgh's most iconic buildings, but what's at the very top?
I'll show you what's up there. There are some surprises, some Sarah Arbogast, plus I'll reveal some mysteries you probably have never heard of.
Some say part of the building is haunted.
Plus, what happens when you ask people not from here to pronounce some of our area's trickiest names?
Duquesne.
Duquesne.
And the new restaurant where a lesser-known utensil is the star, and you can order an actual cookie table. Oh, nice.
From KDKA-TV, this is Your Pittsburgh.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Your Pittsburgh. I'm David Highfield.
And I'm Susan Copen. We are outside tonight on the terrace at the Carnegie Science Center with a spectacular view of the city.
Yeah, it's nice for us to be outside during the summer for a change. You know, summertime is a big time for blockbuster films, and there's a big one coming out next week. It's the next Star Trek movie.
Star Trek Beyond. It's starring Green Tree native Zachary Quinto, who plays Spock.
He does. He was back in town recently. I had a chance to hang out with him for a while. I got the scoop on the movie and what it was like for him growing up in the burg.
It looks pretty awesome.
As we walk around Point State Park with Zachary Quinto, he takes pictures of his hometown.
Do you remember coming
Oh my
here?
God, yeah. I remember the Arts Festival music stage was here.
He's so down to earth, it's easy to forget he's a movie star until someone wants a picture with him.
Oh, shoot.
Nice to meet you,
My
man.
man Spock.
Have a good night. Be well, thanks, buddy.
And it's the role of Spock in the latest Star Trek movies that's made him a household name.
Fear of death is illogical.
Fans also love him for his dark roles, like the serial killer on the TV show Heroes.
I remember you.
And he performs on stage, here in the revival of The Glass Menagerie.
I thought perhaps you wished for a gentleman caller.
Zachary grew up in Green Tree, the younger of two boys.
I was really enamored of the news growing up. And KDKA, you'll be happy to know, was the news channel of our households.
And when he was about 11, he met a KDKA personality at Dairy Queen. Zachary had left, but then realized he had forgotten to pay, so he rushed back.
And Bob and Lisa Pompiani were behind me in line. And they thought it was so cool that I came back that they paid for my ice cream. And then we became friends.
Oh, and it turns out a young Zachary was once interviewed on KDKA about a volunteer project to help other kids.
I think that self-esteem is so important in kids, and especially with school.
Zachary went to high school at Central Catholic.
This was my old room.
English teacher Mary Ann Lynch is in this old yearbook picture with him.
She was a big supporter of my shenanigans when I was in high school.
Of course, he was part of the school's theater productions.
He knew then that this really was what he wanted to do with his life.
And they both remember what he did in class.
He would, at times, stare out the window at CMU, thinking, this is where I'm going to be after I leave Central Catholic.
And I was just dreaming of, being in a production at Carnegie Mellon School of Drama.
His dream came true. He wound up studying musical theater at CMU. Some of his early TV appearances include 6 Feet Under, Charmed, and playing a director on Lizzie McGuire.
Touchdown and smile.
But fans now know him for a variety of work, from American Horror Story
And I've always been self-aware.
to the Wall Street drama Margin Call, to his most well-known role as the new Spock.
You will experience fear.
He tells me it meant a lot to him to get the approval of the man who originated the role, Leonard Nimoy.
I shall simply say, good luck.
I lost my own father when I was very young, and they were around the same age, and the physical resemblance is undeniable, and he was an incredible friend and an influence on me for the better part of the decade that I knew him before he passed.
Zachary says he's grateful for his career and grateful to be from Pittsburgh. He tries to get back a couple of times a year. Mary Ann Lynch tells me she'll never forget when he paid her a surprise visit.
I turned and there was Zach. And, we hugged each other, And I said to him, our eyes both teared up, and I said, I am so proud of you. And he said back to me, thank you for letting me dream. And those are things, I think, no matter how long you teach, you live for.
Zachary says Pittsburgh is always part of him. In fact, he can slip into Pittsburghese at a moment's notice.
Oh yeah, I got that down, no problem, but
But seriously, he says the Berg instilled in him a respect for others, and he loves coming back.
It's always good to come home. I feel strongly connected to this place.
And we want to thank him for talking with us. He was so cool. The new film comes out July 22nd, and he says it'll be a bit of a twist. Some of the characters you're used to seeing together will be separated in this, so it'll be a little different.
Nice. Did he teach you the salute?
The Vulcan, no. I didn't ask. I can't do it right.
You can't do it. Am
You
I doing
kinda
it?
got it.
Is that right?
You're good. No, I think you got it.
I'm trying.
Yeah, good job.
All right, well, it is one of the most iconic buildings in Pittsburgh. We're talking about the Cathedral of Learning.
Yeah, in fact, it's the second tallest university building in the world, and we wondered what's up there? What's on top of the Cathedral of Learning?
Sarah Arbogast got a special tour, and she joins us now with what she discovered. Sarah.
This was a fun one, and it's a really good thing I'm not afraid of heights, because I traveled to the very tip top of the cathedral. There were some surprises on the way up there, and on the way down, I learned about some mysteries. It's impressive from the ground looking up, but wait till you see the view from the top of this majestic building built in the 20s. It takes 2 elevators to get to the 40th floor. There, the prestigious Babcock Room, once used for university trustee meetings, now reserved for special events.
Carnegie Museum.
The view is amazing. You can see for miles in every direction. You're as high as some of the downtown skyscrapers. But we don't get to stay outside for long. You see, the top of the cathedral is also home to a pair of peregrine falcons. Whoa, is that one of them?
Yep.
We make a run for it because Hope and Terzo aren't in the mood for any visitors. That one came out of nowhere.
They are very aggressive, and they will attack humans.
Cathedral building manager and our tour guide, Phil Heber, has experienced it firsthand.
A falcon actually dive bombed on me, swooped down over my head, and needless to say, we ran off the rooftop.
You can watch them safely from the National Aviary's Nest Cam. Then there's this famous photo taken a few floors down in 1960. It shows students looking over Forbes Field, cheering on the Pirates during Game 7 of the World Series. Well, this is that exact spot, and it's not easy to get to.
So they actually crawled out the window.
The area is now restricted, but visitors always want to check it out. Something you probably don't know about the cathedral, there is no 39th floor.
The mechanical room on the 3rd floor needed to have higher ceilings, so at the time of construction, they just eliminated the 39th floor.
At least that's the theory, but no one knows for sure. And speaking of mysteries, we head to one of the nationality rooms, the early American room, which is said to be haunted. Maxine Bruins, director of the nationality rooms, believes it's her grandmother's spirit. People have experienced strange happenings here, like this cradle rocking all on its own. And a custodian once told her quite the story.
Turned around to leave, and I heard a swish, and I looked back, and your grandma's quilt was turned down, and there was a dent in the pillow.
Students actually call the cathedral Kathy, and get this, people actually exercise by going up and down the stairs, all 39 floors.
That sounds exhausting.
It
I would
does.
take the elevators.
Well, the good news is the building has all new elevators, so you can get up and down pretty quickly.
And I'm glad the Falcons didn't get you.
Yeah, that was a little scary out there, but we survived.
I would think so. All right, Sarah, thanks so much. And now it's time for you to vote.
Tell us what you want to see on our next show. Do you want to know about the local town named after one of America's best-known first ladies? Original homes there came complete with chicken coops, grape arbors, wheelbarrows, and shovels.
Or do you want us to explore the story behind the ghost towns of Western Pennsylvania? They quickly sprouted up but then disappeared just as quickly.
Let us know which one you want to know about. Go to KDKA.com/YourPittsburgh and vote. Whichever story gets more votes, we'll have for you on our next show.
Still to come tonight, Cheers, great places to enjoy a drink outside this summer. Christine D'Antonio is taste testing.
I like that.
And uncovering some hidden gems.
Everyone's like, I never even knew this existed.
Plus, how a Pittsburgh Steeler is helping young people get a better view of the city.
And Susan and I check out a new restaurant with a fun name, but a serious attitude about food.
Delicious.
Stay with us.
Welcome back to Your Pittsburgh, honored this year with 2 Mid-Atlantic Emmy Awards.
Welcome back. Pittsburgh will have its own version of something that's become a real hit in the Big Apple.
And a new place to get some of your black and gold gear.
Plus a new life for an old restaurant building.
Just some of what's happening as we check out what's new in the Burgh.
Do you know about the High Line in New York City? An old elevated rail line that's been transformed into a public park. Well, the new owners of the Southside Terminal building plan on making their own High Line by creating an elevated public green space that stretches to the Mon River. They hope to hold concerts and farmers markets there.
Something new to Pittsburgh's restaurant scene, Umami has opened in Lawrenceville, serving authentic Japanese pub food. The man behind the menu is Roger Lai, who was the executive chef at the popular Tamari restaurant. Umami's kitchen is open late, 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
Speaking of restaurants, the building that was once home to the popular Salt of the Earth in Garfield is getting a new life. The guys behind Meat and Potatoes and Butcher and the Rye downtown want to open a new restaurant in that now vacant space.
Pittsburgh is getting a Tequila Cowboy. The Nashville-based restaurant and bar will open next to Stage AE on the North Shore, where there was once talk of a Toby Keith restaurant. It's described as a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll.
Sports fans also on the North Shore, Rally House plans to open here in the West General Robinson Garage. They sell jerseys and souvenirs and should complement what's already being sold at the stadiums. The chain will also open locations in Homestead and Cranberry.
Take a look at the newest apartments in the Strip District. The Yards at 3 Crossings is right along the Allegheny River. 300 apartments with granite countertops surrounding a courtyard with a swimming pool. Most apartments are pet-friendly. Prices start at $1,100 a month.
Finally, the Ronald McDonald House in Lawrenceville is celebrating an expansion. As part of a rooftop renovation, Steelers linebacker Arthur Moats donated viewfinders so kids can get a better view. They also now have a toy forest where children can pick out a toy to keep. Now, the Ronald McDonald House gives families a place to stay when a child's in the hospital.
It's right next to Children's Hospital and has 74 apartments. Still to come, David and I check out a new restaurant named after an underused utensil.
There's a spork on the table. That's a Monongahela. Oh my God.
They're local names we know how to say, but wait till you see what happens when I ask people in the Big Apple to give it a try.
And after the break,
it's just a really chill, laid-back vibe that you really can't find anywhere else in the city.
The best places to have a drink outside this summer.
That's really good.
Christine D'Antonio with spots that feel like a mini vacation right here in the Burgh. Stay with us.
You're watching Your Pittsburgh on KDKA-TV.
Welcome back to Your Pittsburgh, and we're coming to you from outside tonight, the terrace at the Carnegie Science Center. And of course, with summer here, people naturally want to spend more time outdoors.
Yeah, and Christine D'Antonio got a very nice assignment. We asked her to find some of the best places in the Burgh to have a drink outside.
Hi, David and Susan. I must have done something really good to be able to get this assignment. I'm absolutely loving it. There are more and more places in our area where you can have a drink outdoors nowadays, and we found some spots where both the atmosphere and the drinks are something special. Redfin Blues feels like a little beach vacation right here in the Berg. Open from April through October, it's on Washington's Landing, an island in the middle of the Allegheny River.
People discover us, and it's like this hidden gem. Everyone's like, I never even knew this existed.
You can sip a refreshing drink as you watch people on their boats. Pets are welcome too. They have cocktails and beer, but the bartender's making me something totally tropical, a rhythm and blues.
It's our mandarin orange vodka, pineapple, and blue curacao.
Okay.
Want to try one of those?
Sure, that'd be great. It's impressive to look at and tastes just as good. That's really good. I really like that. But the signature drink here is something called a Miami Vice. I loved it, and I'm guessing Crockett and Tubbs would too. Two places to mention downtown. The first has a retractable glass roof. Il Tetto is the top floor of Siena Mercado on Penn Avenue. They have 36 draft beers, cocktails, wine, and light bites of food. Another rooftop can't miss downtown is the beer garden on top of Hotel Monaco. As you might guess from the name, they have food with a German influence, European beers, and games you might find in a pub. Now to the Strip District. You may have been to Savoy for dinner, but you missed out if you didn't go upstairs.
It's just a great place to come to actually after your dinner.
The upstairs bar has a sophisticated feel, but the outdoor patio is the real oasis. You might even spot a celebrity.
We had Antonio Brown, we had Brian Mundy came back into town. We actually had Keisha Cole, who is a national recording artist.
And what about the drinks? I sampled two on your behalf. Something called the Peach on Peach on Peach.
That's very good. You know what, that's kind of like sweet and light and refreshing.
And another signature drink, their Cosmopolitan. It's a top secret recipe made with mango rum. Finally, the Round Corner Cantina. The outdoor space feels like you've been transported from Lawrenceville to the West Coast.
Southern California. It's just a really chill, laid-back vibe that you really can't find anywhere else in the city.
Exactly what the owner is going for.
I'm from San Diego, and essentially that's what we wanted to create. That's what I wanted to do, was relive what I was missing.
As for the drinks, take a look at this pitcher of deliciousness. It refills itself because of the upside-down cerveza on top.
It's our Cantina Shandy. Shandy tends to be beer and lemonade. In this case, we started with a little bit of rum, Campari, ginger, lemon. Very light and refreshing.
A hidden paradise right here in the Berg. For your Pittsburgh, I'm Christine D'Antonio.
Now, we should say Christine didn't actually drink all those drinks. She just sampled them.
Just a little sip, right? Just a little sip. All right, anyone who has moved to Pittsburgh knows we have some unique phrases here, like red up your room or gum bands.
Very true. We also have some tricky names to pronounce when it comes to where we live. For instance, North Versailles or North Versailles. Of course, we all know the answer, but many non-Pittsburghers do not, which brings us to an experiment that turned out to be pretty entertaining. In the shadow of Manhattan skyscrapers is Central Park, the perfect place for our little test. On cards, we have the names of some of our area's trickiest places to pronounce.
Monongahela? That's a Monongahela. Oh my God, that's what I'd say about that one.
Of course, it's Monongahela, a Native American word. Now let's try a name that came from the French.
Duquesne.
What do you think?
Duquesne? Duquesne?
Duquesne.
Oh!
All right, new name, same French theme.
North Versailles.
North Versailles?
That's what most people would say too. We pronounce it North Versailles.
Okay.
But everyone else in America
But
would
that's
say.
French.
You're right. Okay, one last one. Let's get some game show music. Because the word is Zelienople. How would you pronounce that?
Zelenople.
Zelenople?
Zelenople?
You got it.
All right.
Zelenople.
Perfect.
I think my favorite was Duquesne instead of Duquesne, because I get it. I get Duquesne.
It kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
And I really want to thank those people because they didn't see the cards before I had the camera on them, so they trusted me. So thank you, people of Central Park.
They were very brave. And still to come, David and I check out a new restaurant.
Yeah, it's a fun place where you can eat with a utensil you don't use very often. Stay with us.
Contact us on Facebook or Twitter. We want to know what you want to see. After all, our show is called
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Welcome back, everyone. This is when we visit a cool new restaurant, and we have a question for you tonight. Do you know what a spork is?
You know, it's when you take a spoon and a fork and you make one utensil. Well, it's also the name of a new restaurant in Garfield that offers you a spork to use at the table, but that's not the only thing that makes it unique. Spork is casual and sophisticated at the same time, and the menu is fun. You fill in the circles to place your order.
It feels like we're taking a test back in school.
I have a number 2 pencil.
They serve small plates, so you can get a real variety. David and I start with warm bread and an array of spreads. Charred romaine lettuce and pears wrapped in prosciutto with balsamic glaze.
You got your salty, you got your sweet.
From the bar, we sample a new spin on a classic Negroni, an Italian cocktail.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And they gave it an unusual name.
Boople Snoop. Who knew?
We also try scallops with butternut squash ravioli, coffee, steak, and egg, and one of our favorites, a fried risotto ball.
Delicious.
Everything is made in-house, and of course, when you're at a place called Spork, you can eat with one.
There's a spork on the table.
I think we're serious about the food, we're serious about the service, but at the same time, we just wanted to have a little fun with it. So we thought we'd elevate the infamous plastic utensil to its rightful place amongst cutlery.
Oh, nice.
For dessert, David and I order the cookie table, a fun take on the Pittsburgh wedding tradition. It's an actual little table with a pitcher of milk to wash the cookies down.
Cheers.
Cheers.
They also have the most delicious homemade ice cream.
It's very true. The place, again, it's called Spork. It's in Garfield. And if you want more information, you can find it at KDKA.com/YourPittsburgh. Now, if you want even more Your Pittsburgh, we invite you to join us on Facebook right after this show.
In about a minute from now, we'll be talking live about tonight's program. Just go to the Your Pittsburgh Facebook page, like us, and watch.
You can even chime in with questions about the stories we've done tonight, so join us on Facebook. And that's going to do it for this edition of Your Pittsburgh from all of us here. Thanks for watching.
And thank you to the Carnegie Science Center for letting us use their spectacular view. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.